Stop right there. Before you even think about buying a home in the Bay Area, you need to hear this. Everyone keeps saying, just wait, prices will crash or rates will drop soon. But what if I told you that waiting might actually cost you thousands of dollars and put you years behind financially? Because here's the reality. The Bay Area housing market is shifting.
Here's something you don't hear often. The Bay Area is at the bottom of a new real estate survey.
And whether you should buy now or wait is not as simple as it sounds. If you make the wrong move, you might be kicking yourself a year from now. In this video, I'll break it down, where home prices and mortgage rates are actually headed, why waiting could be riskier than you think, and how to make the smartest decision based on real data. So before you make the move you'll regret, let's dive in. Or before not making a move. But wait, before we jump in, I have something for you. If you're a first-time home buyer wondering how to navigate the market without making costly mistakes, I put together a free Bay Area First-Time Homebuyers guide just for you. Plus, I also have a checklist that will help you stay on track during your home search. Inside, I cover the exact steps you need to take. Grab your copy now, click the link below, or send me a DM. Before we dive into what's happening in 2025, let's take a step back and look at how the housing market has changed since the arrival of COVID in early 2020. This chart from the National Association of Realtors showed the percentage change in home prices from Q1 2020 to Q4 2024 across the US. Look at California. Home prices have increased by 44% since the start of the pandemic. That's a massive jump, but compared to other states like Florida, almost 71%, and Montana, 69%, it's clear that different regions experience different levels of appreciation. The COVID housing boom fundamentally reshaped the real estate market. And here are the key takeaways from the COVID housing surge. It was low mortgage rates that fueled demand. When rates dropped to historic lows, as low as 2 to 3%, buyers flooded the market, pushing prices up. And with limited inventory, this led to bidding wars. Now, us here in the Bay Area, we are so used to this type of market. But to the rest of the country, this was a new thing. With fewer homes available, competition was fierce, and buyers had to bid well over asking just to secure a home. And let's not forget about the work from home phenomenon that drove the migration of people out of metro areas.
For years, small and rural towns have been experiencing a brain drain as some of their most talented people move to more urban areas. But recent census data has shown that millennials, those born between 1981 and 1996, are increasingly choosing to live in suburbs and smaller cities.
Cities like San Francisco saw an exodus as remote workers moved to more affordable areas, increasing demand in suburban and ex-urban markets.
625 will pack up the moving boxes as people continue to struggle to make it in the Bay. There are a record number of people looking to leave the San Francisco Bay Area as a whole.
As a result of these migration, prices skyrocketed across the country. Even less expensive states saw double-digit appreciation, with some markets growing by over 70% in just 4 years. So where does that leave us in 2025? Fast forward to today and the market is shifting. We're no longer in that pandemic era frenzy, but home prices haven't crashed either.
Our guest today is Matt McCormick. Matt has a perspective on the ground. Today he's telling us a different story.
As the going rate goes up on real estate values, so do rents. And so you have a situation where you think, well, if there's a lack of inventory on the home side, right, and people are fighting for it, a lot of these people are renters. Well, if they can't get into the homes, that puts more pressure because now there's no vacancies on the renting, which means prices are going to go up.
Instead, we're seeing a more stabilized but still competitive market, especially here in the Bay. Now that you know the historical context, let's talk about what's actually happening in 2025 and whether now is the right time to buy. Let's cut through the noise. Here's what's actually going on in the Bay Area housing market right now. With regards to home prices, here are a few of the notable cities around the Bay. In San Francisco, the median price is projected to stabilize around $1.1 million. In San Jose, prices are expected to remain relatively flat, defying earlier predictions of significant declines. Some actually say that it's going to be increasing in San Jose. In Oakland, home prices have experienced a slight decrease with a 4.8% drop compared to last year, bringing the median price to approximately around $700,000. No surprise for this one, in Palo Alto, this area has seen notable increase with home values rising almost 8% over the past year, reaching an average of $3.5 million. And then we have inventory of homes for sale. Yes, it's true. Overall, Bay Area housing inventory has risen by 15% compared to last year, providing buyers with more options. In the East Bay, the housing market in early 2025 exhibits a blend of increased inventory and sustained demand, particularly for homes priced in the median price range. Now, this would be homes between $1 million and $2 million, depending on the neighborhood. While buyers have more options than previous years, the competitiveness in this price range necessitates prompt decision-making and strategic offers. Sellers in this segment can anticipate continued interest, though realistic pricing remains crucial to attract serious buyers. By the way, realistic pricing is code word for do not overprice your home. Now let's talk about Silicon Valley, where the story is a bit more complex. Recent data on inventory in September of 2024 shows new listings in Silicon Valley actually increased by 4.2%, leading to a 34% rise in active listings year over year. However, despite this temporary rise in inventory, demand has remained extremely strong, especially in highly desirable areas like Santa Clara. In Santa Clara, homes are selling for well over asking price, sometimes by as much as $200,000 above list price. New construction is ramping up with over 1,500 new apartment units coming to the Clara district near Levi Stadium to meet demand. We had the listing in the Blossom Valley area of San Jose. It was 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath townhouse. It went pending in less than a week and over $25,000 above the list price. So what does this mean for buyers and sellers? For buyers, keep in mind that Silicon Valley is still highly competitive. Even though inventory saw an increase in late 2024, the demand for homes, especially in key areas like Santa Clara, Cupertino, and Mountain View, they have remained extremely high. Expect multiple offers and aggressive bidding wars on well-priced homes. However, if you act fast enough and put a strong offer in the beginning, you might negate some of those other bidders by beating them to the punch, so to speak. For sellers, if you've been waiting to sell your house, this is still a great time. Homes are moving fast, and again, I cannot emphasize this enough. Well-priced properties are seeing bidding wars. The listing that I mentioned, we could have priced that a little bit higher, but if we did that, the market might not have received it well. We went with a more cautious approach and ultimately got the price what our sellers really were happy with. The bottom line, unlike the East Bay, where inventory is rising, Silicon Valley's market is tightening, making it one of the most competitive areas for buyers in 2025. Silicon Valley is still a seller's market in many areas. Prices remain strong and demand continues to outpace supply in key locations. Let's talk mortgage rates. Currently hovering between 6 and 6.5, rates are anticipated to settle in the low 6s later on this year. This means a decrease in rates could lead to increased buyer demand, potentially driving up home prices as competition intensifies. And I do believe that if rates stay in the low 6%, we should see more buyers start testing the market. If we go below 6% and stay below 6%, that would be the catalyst that could take home prices to the next level. All right, now that we've covered what's happening in the Bay Area real estate market, let's get to the big question. Should you buy now or wait for the market to change? Hey, look, I get it. This is a huge decision, and I'm not here to convince you one way or another. What I'm going to do is break down both scenarios so you can make the smartest move based on your situation. Scenario number 1, the pros and cons of buying right now. The first pro is you get to go on with your life. Now, that might sound a little philosophical, but trust me, I have several clients that have the ability to buy, but they are having literally sleepless nights thinking about what is going to happen. Just freaking move on if you can. Next up is that you get to lock in today's prices before demand pushes them up. I say before demand pushes it up because that's what the forecast is saying. Next is that the reality is that even if there's competition, there's actually less competition right now. And get this, buyers actually have some negotiating power in certain markets. Then there's the potential to refinance if rates drop lower. This means potentially lowering your mortgage payment. But a quick word of caution here. Don't count on this as one of your strategies. Meaning, if you were to buy right now, make sure you could actually afford at these mortgage rates and not banking on rates to go down to refinance, because I have seen it before. Forecast says rates will drop and then it doesn't. Then you're stuck with a mortgage rate that you can't really afford. Let's talk about the cons. The obvious one, you're committing to higher mortgage rates today. There is no sugarcoating it. Rates aren't as low as they were in 2021, and they will not be back there anytime soon. I'd even bet not in my lifetime anymore, and I plan to live until 120. Next up, if prices dip slightly, you won't get the absolute lowest price. But let's be real, how often do home prices in the Bay Area actually drop for long? I mean, right now, in some markets, it's actually down 5% or more, and yet, buyers for those markets are still waiting for a crash. Come on now, be realistic. Let's look at scenario number 2, the pros and cons of waiting to buy. If rates drop, your monthly payment will be lower. Though again, I caution you on this because what rate are you actually waiting for? Do you know how much is the difference between rates now and say 0.5% drop in rates? Is that worth the wait? Another pro is that you might have a slightly larger inventory of homes to choose from. More choices is always good. This could also mean lower prices. So, with a combination of low mortgage rate and slightly lower home prices, it could actually mean significant savings. Now, for the cons of waiting, the reality of lower mortgage rates means higher competition. If rates drop, expect a flood of buyers jumping in, and it could lead back to bidding wars. And when this happens, guess what follows? Prices could climb back again, making it even more expensive to buy later. This results in you losing months, if not years, of equity growth by staying on the sidelines. So what's the smartest move for you then? My advice has always been this. It doesn't matter what the market is doing. It's all about what your needs are and if you are able to act on it. The reality is, if we have another housing market crash, that could mean recession and layoffs. If prices are down and yet you don't have a means to buy, what good would that do? So if you find a home you love at today's price and you can afford it, locking in now could be your best move. Why? It's simple, because you can always refinance later, but you can't go back in time and buy at today's price once values goes up. On the flip side, if you're not in a rush, waiting could work out if mortgage rates drop and inventory improves. Just understand that you won't be the only one waiting, meaning again, more competition later. So ask yourself this, are you financially ready? Do you see a home that fits your needs and budget? If the answer is yes, don't let market noise hold you back. Okay, my final thoughts. Should you buy now or wait? Look, no one can predict the market 100% perfectly, but here's what we do know. If you are ready and you wait, you're gambling on mortgage rates falling fast enough to outweigh rising prices, which means if you buy now, you control your purchase price and have the flexibility to refinance later. So the real question is, do you want to be the buyer who took action or the one who regrets waiting? Let me know in the comments below. Are you buying in 2025 or holding off? Or maybe you're even leaving the Bay Area. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe for more Bay Area housing updates.